ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणम्। When Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago, Krishna appeared as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. He appeared in Mathura, and after he was born as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, Vasudeva carried him out of fear of Kamsa to Gokula, and there he exchanged the daughter born of Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj with Krishna. And thus Krishna came to be known as the son of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai. And he grew up as a cowherd boy. When Krishna was about 6 months or so old, the Putana came and tried to kill him, but she was killed. Then there was Trinavarta, an asura who came in the form of a whirlwind, trying to kill Krishna again on Kamsa's order, but he was also killed. And then there was Shakatasura, who came in the form of a cart, bullock cart. He was also killed by Krishna. When all these incidences were happening, the Brajavasis became a little perturbed. So many asuras are coming, they are trying to kill Krishna. And in the midst of all of that, Yashoda might tied Krishna to the wooden mortar or stone mortar or whatever. And Krishna pulled it between two Arjuna trees, tall Arjuna trees, and both of them fell down, Yamala Arjuna. And the cowherds were all astonished that the tree did not fall on Krishna. Great fortune. When all these things, so many disturbances were happening, the cowherds all decided this is no more a safe place. Let us shift to some other place. And they came to Vrindavan. They were in Vrindavan for a few months, and from there they shifted to Nandagam. And Nandagam was where Krishna spent most of his childhood till he was 10 years and 6 months old. In between, so many other asuras were killed. Arishtasura was killed, Bakasura was killed. Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill at 8 years of age. All these things happened. And then, 7 years of age, he lifted the Govardhan hill. And then, when he was 10 years and 6 months old, Akrura came to take him to Mathura, because by then, Kamsa had come to know that Krishna is here as a son of Nanda and Yashoda. And Krishna and Balaram were taken by Akrura to Mathura. And there, Krishna killed Kamsa. And he freed Vasudeva and Devaki from the imprisonment which they had been subjected to by Kamsa. And like this, Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan came to an end. And then after Vasudeva and Devaki were liberated, they said, our son's Upanayana Sanskara has not happened. He has not gone to a Gurukula. He has not undergone education. Therefore, we should get him properly initiated and he has to be given proper education. Thinking like this, they sent him to Sandipani Muni's ashram in Ujjain. Krishna was there in Sandipani Muni's ashram for about 2 months, within which time he learnt all the 64 kalas, all the 64 arts. And then Krishna came back to Mathura. The moment Krishna came back to Mathura, what happened? Kamsa's wives were actually the daughters of Jarasandha. And when Jarasandha came to know that his daughters have been widowed, and Krishna is the one who killed their husband Kamsa, his son-in-law, he became very angry and he decided to take revenge. And therefore, the moment Krishna came back, Jarasandha attacked Mathura. And Krishna and Balaram very easily defeated Jarasandha. And Jarasandha, when he was defeated for the first time, he was going back and he was very despondent. He thought, I was a Kshatriya, I have lost a battle. There can be no greater dishonor for me than this. Better I become a sannyasi. I'll give up everything and I'll go to the forest. Then all his friends got together and they said, no. Why are you thinking like this? Defeat and victory are part of every battle. Somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. Somehow by fluke, Krishna won. Actually, he was an underdog. He could not have won. But somehow by fluke, he has won. Some luck has favored him. Don't worry. You go back, recoup all your strength, and go back and attack Krishna again. You will definitely win. Like this, they nicely jacked him up. And Jarasandha also thought, yes, what they are saying is right. So by fluke, Krishna won. So why should I give up the kingdom? So he went back, gathered his military, built up his army, and again came and attacked Mathura. And again the result was the same. Jarasandha was defeated. Like this, several times Jarasandha attacked Mathura. Every time he was defeated. So then what happened? Now seeing that Jarasandha is going on attacking Mathura, Krishna decided to shift out of Mathura. And he gave an order to Vishwakarma to build the Dwaraka city, which was far more fortified than Mathura, and that is how Krishna shifted to Dwaraka. Now when Krishna had shifted to Dwaraka, what happened? One day, Krishna was sitting in his assembly, and it so happened that a messenger came from the Pandavas saying that Krishna should, before that, what happened was one day Krishna was sitting in his assembly, and suddenly one Brahmana, unknown Brahmana, came to the assembly, and he was carrying with him a letter for Krishna. Krishna was surprised to see this somebody who is come, a new person, and he has brought a message. So Krishna took that message and he started reading. The message began like this. Shrutva gunan bhuvana sundara shrinvatam te nirvishya karna vivarair harato angatapam rupam drisham drishimatam akhilartha labham tvayachyuta avishati chittam apatrapam me. So what this letter is stating is, Bhuvana Sundara, oh most beautiful person in the whole universe. This is addressing Krishna. That Krishna, you are the most beautiful person in the whole universe. Bhuvana Sundara. Shutva Gunante, having heard of your wonderful qualities, what has happened? Shrinvatam te nirvishya karna vivarai. Not only for me, but for anybody who hears your great, wonderful, super excellent qualities, if they hear it from their ears, what it will do? That glories, that wonderful qualities of yours will enter the ears, and harato angatapam, it will destroy all the distresses that we may be facing in our life. All the tapatraya, all the different kinds of miseries, adhyatmika klesha, adibhautika klesha, all these miseries, 3 kinds of miseries are inflicting all kinds of distresses upon every living entity. Nobody is free from this tapatraya. Miseries arising out of our own body and mind, miseries arising out of other living entities, adibhautika klesha, and Adidaivika Klesha, miseries arising out of natural consequences. Nobody is free from this. One misery or the other is harassing us at every point of time. But if anybody hears the wonderful, super excellent qualities of Krishna, through the years those qualities will enter and it will destroy all our angatapa, all the miseries that we may be experiencing. And not only that, Rupam Drisham Drishimatam. For those who have eyesight, Rupam Drisham, to look upon your form, O Krishna, is the perfection of the power of sight. Akhilartha Labham. And not only that, if somebody is able to see your form, then he will, that is the greatest, that is the culmination of all kinds of benedictions that one can achieve in life. That is the greatest goal of life. There can be no other greater goal than to achieve. Because different kinds of people have different kinds of aspirations. Politicians want power. The businessmen want money. Then there are other kinds of people who want to simply engage in eat, sleep and mate and defend and eat, drink and be merry. That is the goal of life for some people. So different people have different kinds of goals in life. But if somebody is able to see Krishna, then that the goal that has been achieved by seeing Krishna directly, that is the highest goal. There can be no goal higher than that. Akhilartha Labham. Tvai Achyuta Vishati Chittam. And therefore, O Krishna, Achyuta, my mind has become captivated by you. Apatrapam me. I am frankly expressing this without any shame. Is he okay? I hope he is not injured. Okay, looks all right. So, apatrapam me. I am openly I am accepting this, that my mind has been captivated by you. Without any reservation, without any shame, I am accepting this. Now, why should someone say that I am shamelessly saying this? Because this letter was written by a 13-year-old girl. And an unmarried girl is writing this to Krishna. This is a love letter. So, in those days, 5,000 years ago, the society was very conservative. A girl could not even see another man without getting married. And especially if a girl is from a royal family, she would never step out of the palace and common people would never be able to look upon her. So this letter was written by a 13-year-old girl. You can imagine a 13-year-old girl is writing a letter to a person she has never met before in her life, and Krishna also has never met before. So she is thinking, when Krishna receives this letter from me, what will Krishna think? Some shameless girl has written. So she is ahead of time, she is writing, shamelessly I am accepting. What to do? Having heard of your qualities, my mind has become captivated by you. Now I cannot think of anything other than you. And this 13-year-old girl was Rukmini Devi. What had happened, Rukmini was the daughter of a king in Maharashtra. And the place of appearance of Rukmini Devi, it is said to be Amaravati, which is in Maharashtra. So, this, her father had wanted from the beginning to give Rukmini's hand in marriage to Krishna. But then her brother, she had an elder brother by name Rukmi. Now that Rukmi wanted to give her hand in marriage to Shishupala. He was a friend of Shishupala. And Shishupala is a Baddha Vairi. He is the born enemy of Krishna. It is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam that, when children are growing up, when babies are growing up, when they become 2.5, 3 years old, they first start uttering the words, isn't it? They start, normally the children first, they call out their father or mother, isn't it? Normally that's what happens. But in the case of Shishupala, even before he could properly start pronouncing words, he had started abusing Krishna. You can imagine, from 2-3 years of age itself, Shishupala had started abusing Krishna. was a born enemy of Krishna. And Rukmi wanted that Rukmini should marry Shishupala. And but the father is wanting that Rukmini should marry Krishna. But this son was very strong and he was very obstinate and he forced the father, no. Who is that Krishna? Krishna is just one cowherd boy. He is not one Kshatriya and all that. And he ran away from Jarasandha. He went to Dwaraka. He ran away out of fear of Jarasandha. He ran away and is hiding in the ocean. Why should we give our sister in marriage to such a coward? Like this, Rukmini convinced his father that no, Rukmini should be married to Shishupala. And father also was helpless, even though he was not willing. He said, okay, anyway, son is too much obstinate. Let us fulfill his wish. Now Rukmini, although she was just a teenager, she was very popular amongst all the citizens of Vidarbha, of that place, of that kingdom. And all the citizens were waiting. They were all wanting to see that Rukmini should marry Krishna. But then marriages got fixed with Shishupala. And as soon as the marriage was fixed, the invitations were sent all over the world to all the different prominent kings. And invitations came to different parts of the world, and all the kings assembled in the place where the wedding of Rukmini Devi was supposed to happen. Now, at that time, Rukmini was thinking that if I have to marry Shishupala, better I die. I will not marry anybody other than Krishna. And she was thinking now what to do. My brother, he cannot be convinced. My father has also now taken the side of my brother. Now what will I do? What is the option available for me? Only way, she thought, is to write a letter to Krishna and request him that you please come and abduct me. Let us elope. There is no other way. And that is how she wrote this letter to Krishna. And then further she goes on to express how she cannot live without Krishna, and she told Krishna in the same letter, what is meant for the lion, if the jackals take away, then it is a great insult for the lion. And you are the lion amongst men. I am meant to be enjoyed by you. And if I am taken away by Shishupala, there cannot be a greater insult for you. So you should come and you should take me away. So when Krishna heard all this, Krishna thought, okay, so, young girl, she has written to me, she is wanting me to come and take her away. So I cannot refuse as a Kshatriya. So Krishna said, okay, I will come along with you. And Krishna, along with the Brahmana, set out to the place where the wedding of Rukmini Devi was supposed to happen. And now, as soon as now the time was also very short, Krishna is in Dwaraka, and this is happening in Maharashtra, several hundreds of kilometers away. Krishna took the best of the steeds that were there in his stable, and the whole night they were driving at a great velocity, and overnight they reached the place where the wedding was supposed to happen. And then Krishna reached the outskirts of the city, and then he told the Brahmana, you please go and inform Rukmini Devi. Now Rukmini Devi is waiting when Krishna will come, whether the Brahmana is coming or not, whether my response to my message is coming or not, but nothing is to be seen. And next day is the wedding. So she thought, oh, maybe Krishna has rejected my request. Maybe he felt that this is some unknown girl, she is writing like this, she is not worthy of being my queen, and he has rejected me. Thinking like this, what Rukmini Devi started doing, she stopped eating. And she started lying on the floor. She refused to lie on the bed. And she said, I will give up my life like this. I will go without food and water, and I will give up my life. Maybe in some other life, I will have enough punya to become the wife of Krishna. And like this, she was crying and she was weeping and she was in great melancholy. At that time, suddenly into her palace walks in the Brahmana. And then Rukmini is really great anxiety. She looks at the Brahmana, what happened? You have come so late. And then the Brahmana replied, don't worry, Krishna has come and he is going to take you away. Such a big relief. So now how Krishna will take her away? Because Shishupala, knowing Krishna will come and create some trouble, he has brought all his entire army, everything. And along with him, other people have also come. And all these other kings who who are his friends, they have all brought their armies also, and they have surrounded the palace. There is no way Krishna can enter. Now in the meantime, Balarama got news that Krishna has left all alone, and this letter has come from Rukmini, and Krishna is left all alone. So Balarama thought some problem is going to happen. Better I also go. So he took one small contingent of army, and Balarama also left, and quickly he also reached. Now this news reached Rukmini's father, Bhishmaka. And Bhishmaka heard, oh, Balarama has come, Krishna has come. He went very gladly and received them, because at his heart, he was a devotee of Krishna. What to do? His son was not allowing the marriage to happen, so he had no other choice. But anyway, Balarama has come, Krishna has come. He went and received them, warmly welcomed them, made all their arrangements for their proper stay and all that. And then Rukmini sent a message to Krishna, how Krishna can take her away. So she told her the next day, as a matter, as a part of their family tradition, whenever a wedding would happen in the family, the girl, along with the mother and a few other elderly ladies, would go to one Parvati temple close by. That has to happen on the day of the marriage. She said, when I go there, at that time, there will be only these women surrounding me, and I will be outside the palace. At that time, you can take me away. Krishna said, okay. So Krishna was waiting. Now Rukmini Devi came, and she went to that the temple of Parvati. She finished all the rituals, and she came out. And when she came out, Shishupala and all the other kings were waiting. Everybody had heard that Rukmini Devi is an extremely beautiful, exquisitely beautiful girl. They were all waiting, where we can catch a glimpse of her. Like you see Bollywood heroines, when they go anywhere, there will be a mob surrounding them, wanting to see beautiful faces. Like that, all these kings were waiting. And the moment Rukmini Devi stepped out of that temple, all these people caught sight of Rukmini Devi. And Rukmini Devi's beauty was so bewitching that all the kings forgot themselves. They were simply staring at Rukmini Devi. They forgot themselves. They forgot where they were. They were simply, like this. They were drooling and looking at Rukmini Devi. So Krishna slowly came forward. He extended his hand. You can see that painting there. Krishna is extending his hand. Rukmini Devi is holding it, and she climbed onto Krishna's chariot. And all the while the kings are all like this. They completely lost their senses. They were not able to make out that Krishna is taking Rukmini Devi on her chariot. And slowly Krishna coolly started driving the chariot, and he's going out of the assembly. And suddenly one of them woke up, and he said, hey, what is happening? How is Krishna taking away Rukmini? She is supposed to be married to Shishupala. What are you all doing? All of you are sleeping or what? Then suddenly all of them woke up. And hey, what has happened? Where is Rukmini? Oh, there is Krishna taking away Rukmini. And they said, hey, now immediately they took up their swords, arrows, and they all started running after Krishna. What happened? They started running after Krishna. Suddenly in between there is standing Balaram along with his army. And Balaram with a small army, and there is this huge army along with Shishupala. They thought, what is this Balaram and his small army, Yadav army? We'll finish them. They started showering arrows upon them. But Balaram is Balaram. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His name is Balaram, not simply like that. He is the most powerful personality in the whole creation. There is nobody more powerful than him. So all alone he is enough to finish the entire creation, entire universe. When the time for Pralaya comes, when the time for annihilation of the universe comes, at that time, Balarama's own expansion, Ananta, the fire comes from his mouth and destroys the whole universe. You can imagine, that is the power of Balarama. So for him, what is this one small army? So the Yadava army very quickly began to defeat all these other kings. And everywhere hands are getting chopped off, legs are getting chopped off, the horses are getting killed, elephants are getting killed. Then all the kings started thinking, after all, this is Shishupala's marriage. Shishupala's girl has been taken away by Krishna. Why we have to get defeated? Why our armies have to get killed? Slowly, one by one, all of them went away. And Shishupala is saying he is all alone. Nobody else is there. So he became despondent, and he is also defeated. He sat down. Now what will I do? I was supposed to get married. Such a beautiful girl. I had built so many hopes around her. Krishna has come and taken her away. then Rukmi came there and he said, all of you are useless people. Your one cowherd boy came and defeated you. What, you call yourself Kshatriyas? You will see my power now. I will go now. I will kill that Krishna and I will bring back Rukmini. And if I am not able to do that, I will not come back to my kingdom. Like this, he spoke many boastful words and started chasing Krishna. And Krishna was going ahead with Rukmini and he was not bothering. And Rukmini started calling out to him, hey Krishna, if you are really a Kshatriya, stop and fight with me. I will show you who I am today. So finally, he went on shouting like this. And Krishna said, okay, let us see what this fellow is. He turned around. And this Rukmini started attacking Krishna. Krishna, with a very few arrows, he completely killed all the soldiers of Rukmini and he defeated Rukmini. Rukmini's bow was broken, his sword was broken, everything broken. Then Krishna quickly captured him. Normally in such situations, Kshatriyas, what they will do is they will kill the opposing king. But now Rukmini was the brother of Rukmini and Rukmini is now his queen. So Krishna thought, I cannot kill him directly like this. So what shall I do? So he caught hold of him and he cut off half his hair, half his mustache, and he let him free and he said, go. So now, by then Balaram also came there and Rukmini is standing there and crying and Rukmini is standing like this. His head is half shaved, mustache is gone off. There can be no greater, this is worse than death for a Kshatriya. So Balaram saw, now situation is like this. Brother-in-law is standing there, totally insulted. Sister-in-law is crying and Krishna is standing in a full fierce Kshatriya mood. So now he has to adjust everything. So Balaram anyway is the elder brother. He said, Krishna, what is this you have done? You don't have any sense. This is how you treat your brother-in-law. Look at your newly married queen, our sister-in-law, how she is crying. You don't have any sensitivity towards her. Blah, blah, blah. He started firing Krishna. Then Krishna also, elder brother, Davuji bol rahe hain. He cannot say anything. He bowed his head and stood silently. So Rukmini Devi also got a little pacified. Okay, there is somebody to talk on my behalf. And then Balaram also pacified Rukmini a little bit. And then they left. Now Rukmini has promised everybody that I am not going to come back without Krishna and all that. So he had to keep his promise. So he did not go back and he stayed there itself and he made his kingdom there. And this is how Krishna took Rukmini and he went to Dwaraka. And when Krishna reached to Dwaraka, all the residents saw, oh, Krishna has brought a queen. And immediately with great pomp and with great celebration, a proper wedding was conducted. And that is how Rukmini became the queen of Krishna. Bolo Rukmini Devi ki jai. So Rukmini Devi is the eternal consort of Krishna. She is the principal queen of Krishna, the first queen of Krishna. And wherever Krishna is there, Rukmini will be there. Wherever Krishna is in Dwaraka, Rukmini will be there eternally. She is the eternal consort of Krishna, an expansion of Radharani. And just like whenever the Supreme Lord descends, whenever Krishna incarnates, his eternal consort also descends along with him. When Narasimha Dev comes, Lakshmi Devi also comes with him. Vishnu comes, Lakshmi Devi comes with him. Ramachandra comes, Sita Devi comes with him. Similarly, whenever Krishna descends into this material world, or wherever Krishna is present, and wherever Krishna is ruling over Dwaraka, there Rukmini Devi will also be there. They are eternal, they are an eternal couple and they can never be separated. This is the glory of Rukmini Devi, that she is such a great devotee of Krishna that she will never be separated from Krishna. She cannot think of anybody else other than Krishna. And that is how, even though she was just a very young girl, even at 13, 14 years of age, her mind was completely devoted to the lotus feet of Krishna. And although Rukmini is the principal queen of Krishna, she is the first queen. And imagine, Krishna is having 16,108 queens, and out of that Rukmini is the principal queen. She is the first queen. Normally, what happens is, at least nowadays we don't have polygamy, but in the olden days, whenever a king would be there and he would have multiple queens, the primary queen would rule over the others. She would be very proud. I am the principal queen. Because whenever the king has to do any ritual and all that, the principal queen is the one who will sit with the queen for the king, along with the king for all the yajnas and all that. She has a special place amongst all the queens. Although Rukmini Devi was the principal queen of Krishna, she was never proud. she always used to think herself as a maid servant of Krishna. This was her humility. And this humility of Rukmini Devi is what endeared her to Krishna. And therefore Krishna was sold over to Rukmini Devi. Although Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, everyone else is his servant. Rukmini Devi is also his servant. She is constantly thinking how to serve Krishna. But seeing her humility and seeing her devotion, Krishna was devoted to her, to Rukmini Devi. So Rukmini Devi is a very glorious position. Despite her being the eternal consort of Krishna, the primary queen of Krishna, there could be nobody who was more humbler than her. She always thought herself as a person who was fit to only clean the house of Krishna. Whenever Krishna would come to the palace, she would personally fan him. It was not required. There were so many servants in the palace. But whenever Krishna would come, she would personally feed Krishna and she would personally fan him. She would personally wash his lotus feet. So like this, Rukmini Devi always used to take a very humble position, and she would always be very eager to serve Krishna. And therefore, Rukmini Devi is so much glorified, and she has a unique position amongst all the queens in Dwaraka. So today being the appearance day of Rukmini Devi, let us remember all the glories of Rukmini Devi and let us pray to her to bless us also with a small fraction of her devotion to Krishna, so that we can also develop pure devotion for Krishna and we can go back to Godhead and eternally be at the lotus feet of Krishna and serve him. So, Shri Krishna Rukmini Satyabhama ki jai, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimati Rukmini Devi ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.